Oh man, so Jerome Powell has just delivered some of the most dovish comments we have seen in a very long time. Markets are roaring. Bitcoin back above $17,000. I've just rolled back out of bed. I'm super ill right now, but I wanted to give you guys this update because this is not insignificant. Jerome Powell has just come out, and you can see that initially when he started speaking, the price of Bitcoin started pumping, and NASDAQ as well, the QQQ. So he saw the movement in price. He then came out, and the most critical thing in my opinion which he said is this: the time for moderating the pace of rate increases may come as soon as the December meeting. And then, guys, I want to go on to what else he said, because he basically then in the Q&A continued to mention that it's more important to slow down and maybe get to a higher interest rate hike and stay there for longer. Very, very interesting. In the video I shared with you guys earlier, this percentage had fallen down into the 60s. Now it's bumping up close to 80% again. I think this could even sit at 90% now, given how dovish Jerome Powell was. Yes, he scattered in a few, comments around, we still need to get to 2%, we still got a lot more work to do. Yes, he said that. But this is the most dovish we have seen him in a very long time. Look at Bitcoin, big movement here, back above 17,000. I'm going to show you where I expect this to go. We can see that the NASDAQ responding really, really well here. This is the QQQ, up 3% today. Big movement here, and you can see that the markets are starting to get a little bit excited. Let's also see what else he said. It would take substantially more evidence to give comfort that inflation is actually declining. He then says, despite promising developments, we have a long way to go. But what's important is he said we need to figure out the difference. He's saying don't focus on the rate of the hikes, whether it's 75 basis points or 50 basis points. He's saying what we should be focused on is how high are we going to get to and how long will we stay there for. Now remember, earlier in the day, what did I share with you? I posted a video saying this could change Jerome Powell's mind. And it seemed like this is one of the things which has helped him come out quite dovish in his remarks just hours later. Remember, Jerome Powell will get this figure well before we do. 127,000 new jobs created on the ADP jobs report versus 200,000 expected. So there is a huge softening in the labor market, and these powerful 75 basis point rate hikes are finally starting to filter into the market. Remember, headline inflation is coming down. It's making good progress. We're down at 7.7. But again, Jerome Powell did warn of the fact that this has previously come down only to go back up again. Right? We have seen it. We've seen it go back up again. So we've got to watch out for this thing here, which is where it came down and then created a higher high. So we need it to keep coming down, and that way we can feel more confident in the market. But this is huge good news, guys. Obviously, I'm sick. I can't really emphasize how positive this is. We have not seen bullish comments like this for a very, very long time. Now, what could this mean for the Bitcoin price? Well, interestingly, let's just remove the EMA ribbon and try to tidy this up a little bit. And in fact, let's go up to the 4-hourly chart, because you will see here on the 4-hourly chart, we were in this triangle pattern, which we were monitoring anyway. We already had the breakout pre the meeting, and then the jobs figure today also helped a lot. And then we've got another higher high, which is really good. So now my question is, can we get to that 17,600 level? That's the June lows, okay? And then see, do we get rejected, or can we hold it as support? That's going to be our next key level here for Bitcoin. Can we get to that 17,600 June low, and can we hold above it? Remember here on the 4-hourly chart, if I bring out the EMA ribbon, you can see now we're nice and above it. But if we come down to the daily, you can see we are running into resistance. So do not take this 17,600 level, for granted. It's not going to be easy to break through that, and it will require a flippening of the EMA ribbon, but that will really show some strong progress. Remember, this is just macroeconomics based. What we do have to factor in is if there's any continued contagion around crypto specifically, if there's more noise around FTX, if another company has any insolvency issues, that could cause us some more problems. But from a macroeconomic perspective and the traditional markets like the NASDAQ, they've got the green light right now, because it looks like Christmas might be coming early if Jerome Powell comes in with that 50 basis point rate hike. But it's not finished yet. When I started the week, I said we have a huge week ahead, and it's proving exactly to be that. We had numerous Fed officials speaking, obviously culminating in Jerome Powell today. We had the jobs figure. Yeah, it came in a positive level, right? The reading was positive for us. We then have PCE inflation tomorrow. So look out for PCE inflation, which is the Federal Reserve's preferred level of inflation. That's the measurement they use, is PCE inflation. So we will be looking out for that at 6.2% is what people are expecting. Okay, we then have a few other Fed officials speaking. Fine, we'll ignore that. But then what I want to come on to is Friday, which is going to be our non-farm payroll. So remember, the ADP figures give you an indicative reading from the private labor market reads, but this gives you the non-farm payrolls, which is the official one, which we want to be looking out for. Again, the estimate is 200,000, but because the ADP one shocked so far to the downside, will we see the same in non-farm payroll? So still a lot of big things to go here in the market. Don't forget, we still have the next CPI reading as well. So let's not jump the gun too much. Jerome Powell has indicated that 50 basis points, but if that CPI comes in and shocks to the upside again, all chips are off the table. Jerome Powell can easily flip-flop again. So as it stands, we're making progress, and that's really good news for the wider markets. Jerome Powell is still saying it's possible that he can get that soft landing. He's making good progress, and that's a really good sign, but we still need to understand inflation still at 7.7%. If we get a miss on the next reading and end up back at 7.9 or 8% or even just 7.7 again, that can start to spook the markets a little bit more and remind Jerome Powell that he needs to keep going. So there we have it, guys. Jerome Powell coming out hugely dovish, markets responding, Bitcoin firing itself back up past 17,000 as Jerome Powell says he may need to slow down his rate hikes as soon as December. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to go jump back into bed and I'll see you in the next one.